I kept seeing a car go into the water. All day they've been showing me reruns in my mind of Adventures with Purpose. BP's gonna find her in the Prosser Lake.
We have found Kylie Rodney's vehicle. Again, our search for Kylie at Prosser Creek Reservoir on August 21st at 10.
There are plenty of questions and very few answers after 4 students at the University of Idaho were found murdered in their off-campus house.
It's like if you look at Ted Bundy's eyes and you look at his eyes, they're the same. Maybe a little bit lighter. The one thing that I keep seeing is curls. So I don't know if he has curly hair or wavy hair, and that might be when it's grown out. I think he elongated, like his face might be a little bit longer. There's a reference to a pointier type nose. He honestly looks a lot like Ted Bundy, but like a jacked up Ted Bundy. Like not as handsome. Seriously, that's what I heard, like a jacked up Ted Bundy. Why am I hearing the word campus security? I keep getting like a security guard or a badge. I don't really, and that could be in his past as well. That might not mean that he just does it right now. And names can be, like I said, interconnects can happen, so they might not even fit this case, or they can be connections to someone. I keep getting like a Brian or something like that. It's because they are going to catch him. Because I'm seeing him in an orange jumpsuit.
Good.
So that tells me that he wasn't as smart as he thought he was.
Okay.
And he's probably going to go to jail for this eventually. I keep getting December.
8-year-old Brian Koberger. He was arrested Friday in
I also get the name Richard again.
I also get the name Rick. Damn name Allen is coming in again.
Jailed 50-year-old Richard Allen in connection with the double murder. Teen best friends Libby German and Abby Williams went hiking on a trail and never came home.
Done on November 20th, 2019 at 7:14 p.m. Q and O. I don't know, I hear something like Quentin or Quinton. I've heard that. I'm not sure if it fits here at all, but I'm seeing trash and I'm not sure, but I've gotten it a lot, so it fits someone.
9:42 Wednesday morning. Quentin Simon's mom told 911 her little boy was gone.
I do keep hearing a trash truck though. Then I keep hearing the trash truck. It's almost like the trash truck is around the same time that he left. That's one thing I can't get rid of is the twisting of the trash bag. And so then I'm like, well, is he in the trash?
Okay.
Unfortunately, I hate to say that. I do hear landfill. Could be that's where maybe the cops think that he is. Like he's in a trash bag, but...
Well, new tonight, a heartbreaking search underway in Georgia for a missing toddler. Police are sifting through trash at a landfill for the remains of 20-month-old Quentin Simon.
If he's still alive, which honestly earlier I felt he was, and I felt like he was going to be found. That was earlier in the day.
A 3-year-old boy found alive and in good health.
For some reason, I do want to go out the back of the house, though, but like to the wooded area, but I don't.
He was last seen on Friday playing with his dad in their backyard.
And I said, like, within 3 miles by a log. I'm not seeing him being hurt, and I'm not seeing someone coming up and getting him.
And I said, were you alone? Yes.
The main 2 things I keep getting is the wooded area and the shed.
Well, to take cover in that shed. And I truly...
My kid, I would want somebody to come help.
We are live as law enforcement and volunteers search late into the night to find...
I see him running to the woods. Like, Cam, like, is this an abduction or did he run off? Because then they give me the Riker thing. No, I keep getting the repeated image of him running to the woods. House.
It's like right in their backyard.
Okay. So maybe he decided he wanted to go play and then he kind of got lost in the woods. Okay. He's got to be within 2 miles. I keep getting that 2 mile. So like I keep getting a reference to the edge of the woods. And so he's still alive because I'm not using him to get this information.
Right.
Around in the woods like I can't find my way out. I'm stuck. Like and I said he's in a bush.
Okay.
And we were like, what the heck? What do you mean he's in a bush? I said, he's in a bush, and there's searchers around him, but they've missed him.
Okay.
Because he's in this bush.
And I went across a field of grass. I came up on some woods, and I listened good. I heard like a whimpering kind of noise, and at that point I was like, there's no other kids here. It's got to be JJ. So sure enough, I went in the woods, and about 100 feet from where I was at, I think he was in some stickers. There's a lot of stickers and all there.
Tonight in our Missing series, a case that we have heard a lot about from our viewers.
The person.
He wants to take me down the road to like a neighbor's house or something, like another farm. I also hear neighbor. He said he knows this guy. He knows him. And he's a neighbor. I don't know what the friends come in.
Suspect, 58-year-old James Brenner, who also happens to be Dylan's closest neighbor in the remote desert area of Lucin.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Psychic Sleuth channel. So, I know that I've been away. I'm sorry. I have, as you know, I stay busy and my energy has not been great lately. So today we're actually, because I'm feeling so pulled to do Audrey's case, I feel a little bit better today, and so I'm trying to get it done soon because I feel this urgency to do it. So we are doing it during the day. I don't normally do readings during the day because there's usually a lot of distractions with cars going up and down, my dog's barking at them, the birds talking. So we are going to have those distractions. As far as echoing and with these side, I've contacted StreamYards and we put in the noise canceling like they said to do, and it still happens sometimes. So we can't figure out what's going on there unless it's the microphone. I have absolutely no idea why that's happening. So we're just going to have to be patient with it. And sometimes I feel like Spirit does it to have EVPs in it as well. As you guys know, we hear EVPs a lot of times in these videos. So do keep in mind this is a spiritual channel. It's bound to happen. There's bound to, have electronical things and stuff go on because it's a reading. All right. So I'm going to just describe how I work, and then I'm going to go over what I put on the community page and on my sleuth group yesterday, because it was random visions that I was having. I was trying to get stuff out before it was going to come out, but I'll just kind of describe what I was getting and go over the posts before we start the channeling. Now, this is not to hinder an investigation. I am in no way the police. I cannot promise anything. I am just here to try to give insight and try to help locate Audrey. So I'll get what I meant to get. I have no control over what comes through. Spirit speaks in a way of puzzle pieces. So you have to put the puzzle pieces together, the directions together in order to follow what they're saying. So, if they give directions, you have to kind of go by what I'm seeing or getting. You can't just, we can't try to make it fit. And a lot of times I notice when Spirit does give locations, like they will give directions or things that you see on the way. So you would have to see those things. You would have to see those things around in order to kind of validate that location. All right. So it kind of has to be the way that I see it. I don't get a lot of symbolism in terms of when I'm looking at an area because it's more like a remote view. All right. So what I am going to try to do here, it's kind of hard because it's only been a couple days. If I have to call in a consult, I will. But what I'm going to try to do here today is see what happened, try to get a better idea of where she possibly could be as a description, and just do the best that I can and give what I give. So I'm going to describe how I work for those of you who are new here. Also, I have 6 spaces for the April 25th Spirit-led session. If anybody wants in, that's 25. Just email me at thepsychicsleuth@gmail.com. All the ways to support down below, as well as scheduling readings and all of that. So again, sorry about my birds, but it is the middle of the day. There's nothing I can do. And no, I'm not going to cover them up. It's their time. So information that comes in can be past, present, or future, any point in anybody's life. It can be symbolic.
metaphoric, not always literal in the way that I see it in terms of things, not really with location, but in terms of other things. Also, things can have multiple meanings. Spirit often uses my references, my experiences, how I relate to things to try to explain what they're wanting to say. So this is a telepathic communication. They do use symbols and visions, and I have to try to translate the best way that I can. So however you perceive it, however makes the most sense is what Spirit's trying to say. So just keep in mind that I'm just translator. Spirit's never wrong, but I could translate and misperceive things. I'm going to, as I get information, I'll be telling Lizzie, who's going to be the sitter, what I'm getting. She'll validate what she knows, and if she doesn't know something, she'll just say yes. It's just to keep the energy flowing. That is the whole point of a sitter. People always ask me what's the point of a sitter, but we always explain it. So if people listen, they would know. It's like I'm giving someone a reading, and so the energy is flowing. I was trying to think of the best way to do this reading, and I was like going back and forth. Should I use a sitter? Should I use Autowrite? Autowrite is deeper, but I can pull other cases in a little bit easier. Spirit showed me how to sitter, so we're gonna try it this way. If I can't get good information, then I'll try it another way. What was I gonna say? Oh, so that's what the sitter is for, and she's here to keep the energy going, like I'm giving her a reading, so I'm not just talking to myself. So as you guys know, I do feel, as Spirit comes in, I will feel certain things in my body and descriptions and whatnot. I will describe to you what I'm feeling. It can be what happened. It can be a description of what happened. I can tell you I'm getting breathless right now. So that's a problem. And I hope that I'm wrong in feeling that she's not here anymore, but it's kind of that pushing sense that I'm getting. So I think that's basically it. I will get things surrounding the perp. I will get things surrounding the victim. I will get things surrounding the timeline and things not surrounding the timeline, around the area, things like that. Not everything is specifically right now, but I will try to get specifically right now. But sometimes Spirit will bring in, again, past, present, future. So do keep that in mind. I can also see people at any point in time, and I may end up going back into his past a little bit. I have a feeling that's going to happen. So I'm just going to let Spirit lead the way. Again, I have no control of what comes in. It's been a couple days. I usually like to wait a lot longer, but in this instance, I'm the one being pulled to it, and it's an energetic pull. It's something that I kind of, when I'm thinking about it, when I'm sleeping, when I'm thinking about it, when I'm awake, when I'm having random visions, that's when it's time to get on here and tell you guys what I get. And again, it's not to stop the, hinder the investigation anyways, but hopefully help in some way and to give the victim a voice. So this is for the victim. It's for no one else, but it is to get their voice out and just, give them a chance to say what they want to say, or to be found, or to help their family. Okay. So the post that I covered yesterday, I just want to go over this. I'll probably still get the same stuff, but I did post this 13 hours ago. I was talking about how I was struggling energetically. I wasn't able to do a reading, and Lizzie wasn't available, and I really wanted to use a sitter. I sat down and tried to do cards, and that just wasn't working. It was just like, ugh, I was so tired. I don't know. But I did get a few visions. So I kept getting reference to the woods. Now, when I got the woods, it was when somebody first gave me the case, and I knew nothing about the case, but I kept getting reference to woods. Well, it turns out that there's woods in that area that they were searching. And then I was also a reference to, I kept seeing a lake, but I didn't know there was a lake until I looked up the area. So then I saw that there was a lake, and I was like, okay, that was validating. That's the only reason I'm kind of bringing it up, because it was validating what I was seeing. It was validating to me, I guess, that I was tapping in. So then I was getting reference to a shoe being flipped. So I don't know if they actually found a shoe, or if there is a shoe maybe they haven't found, but it's like, I wasn't seeing it the color she was wearing, but things will come in as I reference them. So it's not always exactly as they are. And so when I first started getting the woods and stuff, which was earlier in the day before anything came out about this guy, I was seeing a baldish older male. And he was like rough looking, but I could only kind of see him like kind of from the side. I kept seeing him driving or in a vehicle. It was really odd, and I don't know why I was seeing him that way, but I was seeing him in a vehicle. I couldn't see the vehicle. I was just kind of in seeing him like from the side. Like if you see somebody driving, that's how I was seeing him. So I knew, like, I kept getting he was bald and he was older and he was kind of rough looking. Like that's the way that it came in. But I didn't know who he was at the time. And now they've arrested someone, so we already know that. So obviously I have to tell you guys one more thing. Facts will come in that are known. I will not say it unless I get it, but if I will always let you know if I know facts. I have to tell you guys what I get regardless, because so many people are like, oh, that's already out. Well, it happened. So of course I'm going to pick it up. Anyways, let's see, there's a couple other things I need to but I kept feeling woods more than water for some reason. But I kept getting like a palm up and a reference to a case, and I can't remember what the case was, but the case was it's some kind of case where a girl was found in the woods and she was kind of covered with like leaves and stuff, but I can't remember what case that was. Anyways, I hope that I'm wrong. It's hard sometimes to figure out if someone's alive or deceased, and I'll never say that unless I'll just tell you guys what I get in the reading, and you can make your own decisions in regards to that. Let's see. Oh, another thing that was coming in as a Janksent wood. So I don't know if there isn't a Janksent wooded area that they haven't looked yet, but a Janksent would be like something that's across, or you know, they're in one area, it might be across from the area or opposite the area that they're looking. That's because I heard the word adjacent. I also kind of heard within a mile, which was kind of weird because I don't know why he would put her so close. Usually my miles are correct, but I don't know. I heard it because I was trying to tap in as I was walking around, just to see if I could get something until I could get on here and do this. Because when you're called, or that's how I am. So, and also I kept seeing a ribbon around a tree. I know they put a ribbon around a tree when they search an area. So I don't know if they're saying they need to research an area or it's by an area that they already searched. Because there's been 2 cases now that have been prior searched, they've been missed, and then they come back and that's exactly where they were the whole time. So people can be missed. I don't know if that's what that's trying to say, but that's kind of how I'm perceiving it, is that, you know, when you put a ribbon around a searched area, it's either they need to research it or search very close to where they've already searched. That's the way that I take it. So I do have to remind you that this is for entertainment purposes only, and I say that for my protection and protection of whoever. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. This is only alleged and my opinion or spirits, what I get spiritually. It's not fact. Okay, so this is only spiritual information, and viewer discretion is advised, just in case anybody needs that. This is about a child, so I do want to put that out there. I do still try to remain as gentle as I can, but I have to tell you guys that because you never know. I never know what's going to come in. All right, there's Lizzie. She's like nothing. Shut up already. Hey. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up her. Okay. I'm not sure how this is going to go because it's so new. But this whole time I've been talking, I've been breathless, which isn't a great sign for me. That I feel like I can't breathe. And last night I wanted to say I felt kind of a suffocated feeling when I was sitting over here trying to do the cards. So I don't know. I'm kind of getting like a head pain too, which I can also get due to lack of oxygen, but there could also be something with the head. So I'm gonna try to since I'm so pulled to this, I hope I get good information, but I kind of felt like she was going to be found soon. Like that was another reason why I was feeling pushed. Like I kept getting a reference to yesterday, but that could just mean that there was going to be something happen. Like for instance, if they got the car, but I kept feeling like they could possibly find her today. Like, I don't know. It's almost like I feel like everybody's around her, but they're not where she's at. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, it's like they're close, but they're not in the exact area. But anyways, I'm gonna try to see what happened and not go into the area yet, although I know the area is important, but I want to know what happened. So, but okay, so the thing, and if I have to tap into his energy, I might try to do that as well. Like we did, like in Into the Mind with what's his face from Savannah's. I might try that.
Okay.
Just depending on if I can't get anything, like if I can't get anything really good from her, I might try to do that. Because sometimes I've noticed that I've gotten pretty good at that. So I don't know, we'll see. I don't know. This feels like he feels like predatory, like I hear the words carried away. Like if someone gets carried away, that's kind of how I take it. But I feel like, again, this was something that it comes across as like I had my eye on her, like, you know, I was around her a lot. You know how men can be when they're around little girls. That's just kind of like I get like those thoughts, those feelings, those I'm kind of making a plan and biding my time, and I feel like he set up certain situations, which I do have to say, I do know that there was some text messages to the mom from him. So I will put that out that I do know that, but it still comes across as like I'm gonna plan this, you know?
Okay.
I kind of just got the jump forward. I heard bunker. I wonder if there's any bunkers in that area, because when I was going into the woods, you know, have you ever seen those things where they're like made of wood and they're kind of like underground, but they like the top of them like stick up above ground, like the what's that be called, like the roof, you know what I mean, like it might be partially buried or partially underground, or just like an old school like bunker. Like that's what it's weird, because I heard that and then I kind of I think I was seeing that when I was kind of in the woods. I don't know if they have one of those around there, or if that's even a thing, but that's kind of what's coming through. And so the only thing I picked up as far as water with her was the lake, but it was more like location wise. I haven't really seen her in water. I saw somebody in water, but I don't know if it was her. It was a few days ago. So I'm gonna just have to keep going. I'm kind of, everything's a little blurry for some reason right now.
Okay.
But I would be curious if this guy like did substances, because I know that he's got quite a past, and you know, everybody's got a past. It depends on if you change who you are. So there's no judgment coming from me, but I keep getting reference to like substances. So I don't know, he may do like the occasional substance, and I keep seeing him snorting coke. So that could be in his past. I'm not sure if that's presently or not. It's weird. It's like I keep seeing him like creepily watch. And I feel like she kind of tried to stay away from him. I don't know if there's a sense of, and I feel high right now, all of a sudden. So, like, you know, like kind of out of it, and that could be him or her, I'm not sure, but like he could have drugged her. Because I kind of get that reference all of a sudden. Like I feel a little bit high, but then it's almost like I see him put something in like a water bottle or a drink or something like that. Something maybe she was going to drink in the morning, or she usually drink in the morning. it's almost like I feel like maybe because he planned this. I feel like he had a plan, and it all started a couple days before. That's the way that it's coming across. And so I feel like there was things put into place for him to like make his plan. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so I'm kind of struggling right now if she's alive or deceased because I can't really breathe. But then I kept getting a reference to like a hideout or a bunker or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But I'm just wondering if like he drugged her without her knowing. Like I think that the way that it comes across, the way that I'm seeing it, I feel like she thought she was going to the bus stop. That's why she had her backpack. That's why she had all of her stuff. Like, and I feel like it was the plan for him to take her. And I feel like he maybe even set up that, like, oh, I'll take her and it's not a problem. That kind of thing.
Okay.
And I don't know if she normally had a ride or sometimes she walked or sometimes somebody else took her. I don't know if this was abnormal. Kind of feels like it possibly could be. That maybe he took her sometimes, maybe he didn't, but I feel like it's almost like he asked to take her or he made sure that he was available to take her. And so many people that when we're close to people, like we're blinded by who they really are. I feel like he was really good at fooling what his intentions were and the kind of person that he was. And that's just from a lifetime of being in the lifestyle he was in, good at manipulating people. So that's kind of how it comes across. But I keep seeing him, like, it's like, get your stuff, I'm going to take you to the bus stop. Like, that kind of thing. Like, she got dressed for school, she had her backpack, and, like, she gets in the car like she thinks she's going to school. But I'm telling you, there's something with a drink that he, like, maybe she drank water every day, or maybe there's, like, something, like, he handed her a drink, and she didn't think anything of it, but it's coming across as I keep saying it as like a water bottle. But I mean, he could have drugged her. You know what I mean? So that she didn't know. Because every time I kept pulling a card yesterday, I kept pulling a drug card. And it didn't make sense because I don't really like to do cards before readings because I always trust the readings first and the cards kind of validate it. But I kept pulling that. So I was like, well, I don't know. But now it kind of makes sense. If they keep showing me this water bottle with like something in it, and it's almost like he put drugs in it so that he could make it seem like he's taking her there, but maybe by the time they got to the bus stop, she was passed out.
Okay.
So that he couldn't fight her, she couldn't fight him or anything like that. And maybe the reason why I keep seeing him driving is because, again, he was driving her to school, but maybe he drove from there. Like, I keep getting like a reference to like a hideout or something. Like maybe a place he had, but it feels like it's in the woods. It's really weird. I keep going back to like different cases, and there's one case where I think there was like a guy like had a hideout or something, like it kind of comes across like that. I don't know. I feel like this is going nowhere, but it's a reference to 10 minutes. So I don't know if it's either 10 minutes or 10 miles, but I heard it as 10 minutes. Like he drove for like another 10 minutes. But it's almost like I also feel like instead of going the direction of like it's almost like he went towards the direction of the bus stop, but then it's almost like I take a detour. Getting a reference to a detour, going around another way. Like, you know how sometimes, like here, you can take multiple roads to get to one place.
Yep.
It's kind of like, so I don't know if there's like little side roads you could take that will take you around an area so that maybe he wasn't really seen at the bus stop, or he didn't stop at the bus stop, like he acted like he was going there, but then he took another direction.
Okay.
That's what I keep getting. It's like I'm going, but then I go around the other way. And then I think he wanted to play it off as, well, I dropped her off and she never got on. So I didn't have anything to do with it. You know what I mean? Like she's gonna play kind of stupid with this. Because he is the last person that's seen her, but he's gonna play it like, well, I dropped her off. You can't prove otherwise, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think there's gonna be witnesses or something that proves otherwise.
Yeah, I think you're like right, like on track with the planning too, because I mean, there's like a lot of construed theories too out there, but one of the neighbors came forward and said like they would never drop her off at the bus stop. They always saw her walking in the dark, like with her backpack. Like I guess
That's
it
what
was
I'm saying. Like
early.
it's almost like he made himself available to take her. Like I'm gonna take you today, you know. And I don't know if again
Yeah,
he ever took her or somebody else took her, but it kind of comes across that way. And then we have the
yeah,
text messages to mom, you know, where it can look like, okay, I took her to mom's. If anything comes
yeah,
of it, you know.
yeah.
So like
And I
there's a
mean, you don't know.
pre-planning
Like,
here.
did she actually walk herself to that bus stop? Like, you don't know. A lot of people are saying different things, but I mean, it would make sense. Like, you know, if you're getting like this was planned a couple days before, and he was like, "Oh, I'll take you to the bus stop." You know, if that's not something he usually ever did, then
And, you know, this is Dad's roommate, so I think Dad obviously trusts him enough to have him stay with him. I mean, it kind of like, you know, the company that you keep kind of thing. I'm not trying to be judgmental because,
yeah,
you know, everybody makes mistakes, but, um, you know, I think he's good at manipulation and fooling about who he really is. Like, I feel like he's got this dark side that nobody knows about, and he's good at hiding that. And I feel like basically Dad brought a predator into the home without even realizing it because maybe he didn't have that on his record or past. Maybe it was more like, you know, assault, drug, you know, paraphernalia, like that kind of stuff. Like nothing geared towards this, but you never know what people are capable of. Let's just face
yeah.
it. I keep having like this, like I'm having a hard time breathing. I really am. Like my chest feels very, like I feel like he always. I don't know how much he was around her. I believe that she lived there too because I from what I understand, like she didn't have custody or mom didn't have custody, and I don't think mom was even like seeing her. So I think like she lived with grandma and dad. Like I think it was a back and forth thing because I'm getting a reference to grandma. But
Yeah, grandma
so
lived there.
yeah. So because I'm getting like grandma, dad, like those two, and I don't know if that would be dad's mom. I think so.
Yeah.
So that's kind of coming in, and then it's like, this guy's there, and he like, I just get like, you know, I just get like the sitting there and watching her like side eyes and stuff. Like he planned it because he wanted her sickly. That's the way that it comes across. And I think like again, when he set it up with the mom, it was like, I'm trying to be a good guy. I'm trying to let you see your daughter, and then I can just say, hey, you know, I dropped her, took her to her mom's, and mom must have done something. Like it's almost like it was a setup with mom, but at the same time, it was like I'm trying to be a good guy. I'm trying to seem like a good guy. Like he's good at manipulation. There's a huge thing of he's really good at manipulating those around him into believing that he's some good guy. He's not going to cause any harm. His past is past. Like that kind of comes in, but I still think that he has a temper on him. I still think he's one of those people that doesn't have impulse control.
Okay.
And I still think that there's some kind of narcotic. I'm hearing narcotics, so some kind of substances that he may use. Even if he's on, because I hear, is he on parole? I don't.
I want to say
He might have been at.
I think he. I don't know if he was or he is now. I did
Because
hear he had a
I don't
lengthy
know.
record.
I don't know if there's like when he was on parole, but I hear parole. So, yeah, I feel like he's been in and out of jail a lot. I know that's obvious, but it's like for different things, but it's not anything to do with this sort of situation. But it's almost like he's graduated to this because it's almost like he sort of fell in love with her in a weird way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, maybe the plan, I don't know if the whole plan was to like hurt her, but I think once he took her, it becomes where it's like, there's no turning back, you know? But in his mind, he's going to get away with it because he's set up this whole plan and he's good at manipulation. So he's, in his mind, it's like, you know, I'm going to get away with it. That's why I'm having a hard time, like, trying to see if, like, she's alive or not. Like, all I know is I'm having a hard time breathing.
Okay.
And then yesterday I kept getting a reference to the woods and like a palm up in the woods, but like a reference to like leaves or coverage. So I don't know if that's what they were trying to tell me, because I still feel like I'm high or drugged or something of that sort, which that makes sense to me. Because then she wouldn't know she wasn't going to the and I think maybe he told her too that maybe he was gonna take her to mom or something. I think maybe he still played along with that.
Okay.
And I hear the word she trusted him, so I feel like there was no reason to not trust him, although I feel like maybe she was creeped out by him and stuff, like, you know, he like used like the mom thing like as a tool, but I just feel like there's something that she's drank that's made her more susceptible or tired or whatever, to where she wouldn't be able to fight, she wouldn't be able to kick and scream, you know, none of that, because she is 11, she's not 2, you know what I mean? So it was a control mechanism is what it comes across as, like to have more control over her and more control over the situation.
Okay.
I definitely feel like the woods are more significant than the water. It could be that he's thrown the water or the backpack close to the water. Like, I know that the backpack was found and all that, so you don't have. Okay, I know that, but I don't think that she's in the water. I think it was more like, I'm gonna put this here to put the investigation here. Put the investigation in the water. They're gonna spend all their time diving in the water, and they're not gonna find her because this is where the backpack was. Like, it's almost like a plant of evidence.
Okay.
That's the way it's coming across. Because I'm really not getting water with her for some reason. Although I know that kind of makes more sense, but I get more wooded area. I'm getting kind of emotional because I think that maybe there was SA involved here. Once he got her to where he was taking her, I feel like he already had a place where he was taking her to. Like I said, it was planned out. So, I don't feel like it happened in the house. You know, I feel like it was either in the car or somewhere that he had planned to go, like he knew. And I usually don't get emotional with cases, but for some reason I got really emotional with that. Because there's things that I don't really want to see that they're kind of showing me, but visions are like through dirty glass, so they're not always as clear, thank God. But and that could be her emotions, you know, that I'm feeling during the time that was happening. And I feel like it was possibly more than once. Like, that was the whole point of taking her, in my opinion. Because I get like this, like when someone just watches you, like like even as a woman, when a man's like watching you and you get like that creepy vibe, like that's what I keep getting.
Feeling.
Yes, that uncomfortable, like that's what I keep getting. And I feel like she did feel kind of uncomfortable, but he had never done anything up until this point to like make her not trust him, other than just like sometimes I think he made her feel uncomfortable, you know. And I also think like he had this like, oh, she loves me back, oh, like I'm like, you know, someone that she really loves or cares. Like, it's almost like, how do I like a fantasy, okay? But or that's not even the word I want to use. What word is that? Where someone thinks something, like they think like they're in a relationship with someone, but they're really not. Like it's in their mind
Like
that someone
delusional?
loves. Yeah, like I guess like it would be like a
Like a
delusional
hallucination or something? Like,
kind of like I feel like, you know, she loves me, she looks at me this way, she loves me, like that kind of thing. You know? That's why a part of me is like, well, did he unalive her because it seems like he really loves her and he really cares about her, but at the same time I get like a carried away feeling during the sexual assault, like I can't breathe. Okay. And you guys can kind of understand what I'm saying with that, I think. But the bunker feels important, or a piece of like, it's almost like a rundown wood structure.
it's called
In the woods.
erotomania. It's
The
when
what?
erotomania is when like you feel like somebody's in love with you, but they're not.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
like a
it's not something like
delusion. It's
that,
a
but
delusion,
yeah,
basically, that they think that.
that's what it kind of feels like. It's like, you know, she wants to be with me, and I'm gonna save her and take her. Like, that's just the feeling I get. I don't know. It's weird. I've never got that before, so it's hard to explain. But I keep getting this fucking wood structure. It's gonna drive me crazy. It's one of those things like, you guys, when things repeat, it's super important. Lizzie knows this. Like, if something's repeating and it won't shut off, it's usually dead on, and they'll repeat it and they won't change it. So if I keep telling you there's some kind of wooden structure by where she's actually either in it or by it, that's what we need to look for in the woods. But it's almost like it's not the exact wooded area that they're looking for. It's like one that's close by or adjacent to where they're looking. Like, they need to expand the search to, I don't know if there's other wooded areas. That's why I'm kind of like, you know how sometimes there's there's like, okay, a national forest, but there might be another piece of woods that is part of the national forest, but it's like in another area. I don't know how to explain this, but it's like not the specific wooded area they're looking at, but like something that's close by or adjacent to. Like, that's where I keep going. I keep going out of the search area. Like, it's might be a little bit further than where they've been searching, and I feel like they're focusing on the water because of the backpack, but that's what he wanted them to do.
Okay.
And he knows when he admits to where she is, or he admits anything, then he's screwed. Like, at this point, he's delusional, thinking he's going to get away with it because he planned all this. You know what I mean? Like, he feels like he put all the plans into motion to not get caught. He set it up every way he was supposed to set it up. See, and you know what case they keep reminding me of? And I know he's not a FedEx driver, but that case, was that in Texas? I can't remember her name, but the FedEx guy took her.
Yes. I remember that case. I can't remember her name though. I know what you're talking about. She was like out on the front lawn or something, and
yeah. And I don't know why I'm getting that reference to that case, other than maybe he did similar things to her and the front of my throat is hurting. So it could be like just in the way that the way that kind of guy is, you know, and maybe things that maybe he did to her. I don't know. I don't know if it has anything to do with the location. I don't think so. But I'm telling you, there has to be some sort of like weird wood structure in the woods somewhere that maybe was built a long time ago. It could even be like off of an abandoned house or something like that. You know how sometimes like abandoned houses have like wooden structures on them? But this feels like it's like halfway underground, or it's like falling down or something. Like, it's almost like a reference point, because I get reference points. So take it to that area, and then you want to take it to where I'm seeing, and then you want to expand your search area from that reference point. But it has to be like as I'm seeing it. So and so what I'm getting is there's a reference to a like ribbon on a tree, right? And then if you go like across, like kitty corner, or so it's there, she's taking me like close to the search area, but not the search area, like not an area that was searched, but very close to one, and taking me kitty corner this way, and then she's like taking me that direction. But it's almost like the search area, this would be like on that maybe like the edge of the forest, and it's like I go across the road to another patch of woods or something. Like, that's the way it's coming across. I don't know how else to explain it. it's hard because in this area, in this instance, I don't think it's like I don't get street signs anyways, but it's not like there's a street sign or anything. I can just give you guys descriptions of things to look for. Unfortunately, that's the way that it works. So, but the thing is I don't feel like any water around her where she's at. It's very, very wooded, like thick wooded. And I don't know again if she's in the bunker or she's in the woods by that bunker, or whatever it is, wood shelter, or I don't know. It seems to have like a roof, and it might not be exactly as I'm seeing it, but it seems to have like a regular roof like this, and then it's like part of it's underground, or it's like really short. I don't know how to explain it, but it would be somewhere that it would be somewhere that he would know about. So because this was an area like he planned to go. Like I said, I think he meticulously planned this. I don't think this was like on a whim. Like he planned this for a couple days when he couldn't hold out any longer, and it had something to do with Valentine's Day.
Yeah, something like this. Let's see.
Because if you think someone's in love with you, what are you gonna do? When are you gonna do it on? Valentine's Day.
Rachelle.
Yeah, something like that maybe, like, but wood kind of. But it's
yeah,
gonna be
that's made out of wood. I don't know if you could see it because of the. Yeah, that's made out of wood.
It's gonna be like some kind of wood
concrete.
structure.
That's concrete. Never mind.
Yeah, there's gonna be some kind of wood structure in the woods. That's what I keep getting.
Here's a wooden one.
Yeah, something like that, like similar to that. Might not look exactly like that, but any kind of wood structure that would be in the woods that someone had built. Like I said, it might be just like a little thing that someone built. Who knows? Maybe it's something like he put together as he planned this, you know?
Yeah.
Like somewhere to take her, you know?
Like here's one.
But it feels like he picked this day because of Valentine's Day.
Rachelle.
Oh yeah, something similar to that. So
see, it's like built off the ledge of the rocks, you know, like you could barely even see that.
And I don't know if there's like leaves in this area because I keep getting like I keep going back to that case, but it's like where there's a hand sticking out, but that's all you can see. Because they've put leaves or whatever's in the woods like on top of them. Like that's kind of what I get. Like it's like shallowly covered, but they like may have missed like part of the hand, or the hand could just be showing to tell me that's where they're at. Like I feel like I don't know why they're showing me that. I want to be wrong and say she's alive. Like that's my biggest fear is to say that's my biggest fear is to say someone's not here and they are, because I misread things. But I can't breathe. Like I literally cannot breathe.
This poor little girl.
It's almost like I don't know if like because it's almost like he would, you know, if you love somebody, you take them. It's almost like he would stash her at this bunker kind of thing. Like that's what I was hoping. But then they keep going to this like buried in the like shallowy, you know. There's reference to, like leaves and stuff that we would find on like the floor of a forest, like that kind of thing.
Okay.
And there's a reference to like a log. I tend to get that a lot in forests. I don't know why. Like a log or a fallen down tree. So it's almost like I feel like they need to expand, it's almost like I feel like they need to expand the area of their search and like go across or further from where they're searching, because she keeps taking me to like this tree with a ribbon on it and then like shooting me across the road to a different like wooded area or something. I don't know. This might be something for locals. Locals might know
okay,
about a bunker or something like that, you know what I mean? Because that's like it feels like it's a very strong reference point for some reason. It might just be like a fallen down structure, freaking pile of wood. I don't really know. Like it just kind of keeps coming in, and I heard the word bunker. I'd be curious because I think I'm gonna pull some cards. I have a reading at 5:30, so I'm trying to get this done before then. But I wanted to get something out.
Yeah.
Because it's been bugging the hell out of me. But I do feel, unfortunately, SA was involved because I got super emotional with that. I don't get emotional in cases. I tried to separate myself. Not that I don't care. It's just I can't get the information if I'm emotional about it. I'll block it out. So I don't want that. I want to be able to see everything I can to help. There's also a reference to an American flag.
Okay.
So that might be one so when I get American flag, sometimes it's like there's one that has a house on, like one that's on a house. Sometimes it's like a fire department or any place that would have like a postal service, anything that would have an American flag.
Okay.
Because I try to get like things that maybe you would pass on your way or you would see that's around you. What's interesting is like I keep going to the road, and then it's like this place is like off the road, like if you like not to where you could see it from the road, like deeper in the forest, but the road isn't too far. But I also feel like he drove see, and if she was alive somewhere, he wouldn't be trying to get rid of the car and stuff, because I feel like he was trying to get rid of evidence. If you haven't done anything, like, and they're alive somewhere, why would you try to get rid of that evidence? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't feel like he sold her anything, because this feels like he wanted her for himself. Like, again, Valentine's Day on the 14th, I've circled it so many times here because it feels important to his delusion.
Okay.
The number 4 is coming up. So I don't know if that's like 4 days, 4 miles, you know, something that has to do with 4. I kept feeling like they were gonna find her for some reason. I don't know. I guess if I'm gonna pull cards, I should try to pull cards, and maybe that'll give me more of like area-wise, because it's hard. It's just like the woods. Like, there's not much I can tell you about just the woods, other than it feels like this is like, I don't know if is there a road that goes in a circle around there? Like I keep seeing this road that like goes around the lake. Like it would be like a main road that would like circle the lake. Keep in reference to that, but it's like on the other side, not the side where the lake is, but I would go on the outside of that.
Let me see if I can find a map.
I wasn't gonna pull cards on this, but I kind of want to now. I'm trying to hurry because I got like 30 minutes before my reading. It's almost like, you know, how you have like a lake and then woods and then there's like a road that seems like it circles the lake. Like that's what I keep seeing. But
yeah, this is only showing me a partial map.
I would be like on the outside of that road.
You know, I'm not good with maps.
Me neither. When I look at them, I get overwhelmed most of the time. I can't really, it's not like I could point to an area and be like, oh yeah, that's it. Sometimes I'll feel things, but it's hard to figure out where I'm feeling them from. But I know this whole time I've had a really hard time breathing. And last night it was like asphyxiation was what I was getting coming to me. You know. And I believe that the girl, the FedEx girl, I think she was strangled. But it's kind of I was getting the pain in the front of my throat when I was talking about it. So I mean, I hope she's alive somewhere. But just going by the visions, it doesn't, when they show me her being buried like under leaves and stuff, brush and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm hearing barking dogs, so it might be that the dogs get the scent. Maybe they expand the search area. So I feel like it comes across like she'll probably be found. Either he'll take them there or they'll find it another way.
It does look like there's a road that, it does look like there's a road that like loops up, like seeing the lake. I don't know if you could see it with my, wait, hold on. See that road there?
Yeah, I see the loop. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's almost like a loop, but it would be like maybe the opposite side of the road is what she's trying to say. Like, not the loop, but the other side of the road. I don't know. Like I keep wanting to go like across the road. So maybe the opposite side of what they're looking at. But I do keep hearing
there is stuff on the opposite side, and there's like little patches of like water. So to me, that must be like marsh. So that must be woods on the opposite side.
Yeah, and I keep getting like I'm hearing dogs barking, and I'm seeing like a brown it looks like a brown hound. There's a brown hound, and then there's also a German Shepherd looking dog. But I keep hearing dogs barking, so they might eventually catch the scent, or they might be the ones that help kind of find her. But there's a reference. I keep seeing a random shoe in the woods, and that might be closer to where she is. I don't know if they found one or not, but
they did.
The back. Did they?
Well, it was said that on a page that their Chronicles of Olivia, I think it was, that one of her shoes were found, but in the press conference today, the only thing that the officer had confirmed was her backpack. He said that there were other things found, but he is not ready to speak on that yet because he doesn't, I guess, want to hurt the investigation. So he's not saying what other items were also found. But it was said somewhere that a shoe was found, but I don't know. Like I said, the police officer didn't confirm or deny it.
It almost be like he's spreading this evidence out everywhere. But I feel like the evidence is opposite of where she is. That kind of makes sense to me. You want to put the investigation in one direction, so you put all the evidence there.
Yeah.
And you make it look like something else, Well,
there's actually two roads with a loop by the water. But
I don't I'm not feeling like a huge
see
amount
this
of water
one over here.
Yeah.
To this side.
I know
that
they've been
one,
searching,
and then there's the one with the bigger.
I know they've been searching like the dam and stuff, but I keep wanting to go opposite of where they are, so maybe across the road to the other side.
Yeah, that looks what it like.
I'm
trying to go in on the Lakeview Point and the Browders Marina to see like what, like, how you could do street view and look like across the street to see how it looks. Just looks like a lot of trees.
Is there any roads around there that has the word brown in it?
Where what?
That has the word brown?
There's Browders 3278 Marina, but that's a marina.
No.
Let's see if there's a road with brown. Lake Livingston Dam.
I don't know. It might be like a little road. Brown something road or brown. I don't know.
Cedar Crest, Wrestling. Oh, Camellia Drive.
Right,
I'm looking at that.
I'm gonna
go ahead, pull your cards. I'm looking for the.
Okay, so I pulled some cards. I'm just gonna go over them real quick. I'm not gonna show them to you guys because I'm running short on time and I really don't have time to like go over them in detail. So we have the death card, the imprisonment card, accident, poison, health risk, toxic food shortage, which I usually take as some sort of drugs or something like that as well. Suicide, so I would watch him. Missing, murder, strangled, hand, fist, unconscious, and hijacked, which makes sense because he did hijack her. Maybe she was unconscious when he took her. There could have been something that happened in the house. Maybe that's where he drugged her. But the strangled, and she is still missing. So then we have these ones kind of don't make sense, but it's like assassination, affluent. I don't know who would be affluent. Terrorism, which I always take anything done to a child, anything done to anybody as terrorism. Law enforcement, because they know who he is. And he's known to law enforcement. That's how I take it. Bad guy thief, but I wonder how much he knew or how well he knew the grandma, because it says stranger female grandparent. But that could mean, how sometimes we think we know somebody and we don't. Even might not always, cards are not always literal, and I can always misperceive the cards, but cards aren't always literal. So it could just be that she didn't really know him that well, or the way she thought, because it's like aliens, like someone that you don't really know. False person hiding out, which he was before, but now he's in jail. So organized crime. I kept wanting to mention, like, I felt like at one point he could have been in like the gang. Family dynasties, family. So he's connected to the family in some way, but I got accomplice. So I don't know if that's somebody else knew, or that there's somebody else that knew, but then I got child terrorist. So terrorist to child. And then we have wooded area, tunnel, river. I don't know if there's a river over there or not. Neighborhood. Neighborhood. Something could have happened inside the home, but it looks like there's a neighborhood around here. Inside home, bones hidden. Outside water. The outside card and the water came in together, so I take that as outside the water. Burial, desert, so any kind of sandy area could be by. Not a literal desert, but sometimes it could just be the sandy. Underground and road. And then we have outside, underground again, stored, above ground, wooded area, school, buried. So I wonder if it's in somewhere near the school, or if the school card came in because she was supposed to go to school. All right. So these cards, I'm sorry I'm not going through them slower and showing you guys each one, but I am running out of time. So you have premeditated card. That card flew out, so that means it was planned. War, marriage, wedding. So I feel like, again, that's like delusional feelings of what he thought. Drama, party. So he could have done some things or partied in some way. Curse, exposed, stalking. So watching her, to me, is stalking. Government, there's lots of government agencies involved in this. Happy, weird science would also go with the other drugging cards. So I feel like in some way, shape, or form, she was drugged, in my opinion. Struggle, watch. So he had an internal struggle, I feel, and he was watching her. Obviously, like I said, creepily. Secret society, government agency, again, fraud, delays. There's going to be some delays in this. Fear, investigation, incoming message, so that would account for those text messages and stuff. Explosive, there's a timeline issue. Greed, prophecy, so kind of meant to happen. Debt, that could be any sort of debt. I have the solved card here, though, so it is going to be solved. Anger, mental health, and a secret, so maybe he kept his mental health a secret. Surveillance, soul contract, so this was a soul contract, unfortunately. Lord, perversion, which is what I was getting, so I'm not surprised that card came out. Legal proceedings, control, DNA, maybe in the car or something like that. There's going to be DNA. Dating, so again, I feel like he thought they were dating, or he took it as that. Truth comes out. Confession, so he may confess to something. They may offer him a deal. He might take her to him. I'm not sure, but there might be some sort of confession. Intoxication, so maybe he drinks sometimes. Down the rabbit hole, trauma, and inside job. Inside job, he lived there.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so these are the last of the cards I pulled, and again, I'm just going to go over them real quick because I'm running late. So we have Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. These are new ones. So I'm going to show you that. Right there. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Hooked. So I feel like he was hooked on her again. Haunted, memories, flashback, traumas, side effects from that. Stalker. Stalking, watching, obsessed. That keeps coming in. I feel like, again, he was watching her. Even if he was in the same house. Bad habits, drugs, addictions, and toxicities. Forcer, forces things on you, forces their way in, uses force to get what they want. Crying over you, sad, hurt, upset. And in their head, overthinking, stress, and overanalyzing. So he could have been having lots of thoughts in his head and whatnot as well. Then we have, these are new cards too. Next time you guys will see them when I have more time, but we have family room. So it makes me wonder if something didn't happen in the family room. Then we have courtship. Again, he thought that they were something, or he was trying to be. Main male. Bad health. That could be mental health as well. That's marriage again. So I don't know. I think he just thought weird things. Message. So then we go back to the text messages. This is interesting though. Pathway. I wonder if there's not a pathway to where she is. And I keep seeing again, like, there's a reference to like either falling down tree or something of that sort, that like it feels like she's by. And I also keep seeing like some sort of ledge or something, not a ledge, but like something like ground is a little bit higher in one point and it drops down to another, and it's like there's a piece of wood and then there she is, but you can only see her hand. It's weird. That's how I keep seeing it. And then messages of concern. So we go back to the text messages or whatever that he was sending. So those are new ones. Then we have the phone comes in a lot here. Phone call message, DEA. I still, seems like drugs around this a lot. Kept secret, government involvement. There's a lot of government agencies there. Jail, which he is now. Guilty, fingerprints, DNA, justice, phone, again, government card, setup, and physical evidence. So I feel like, he maybe was trying to set up the mom. Maybe even the accomplice was what he was trying to make it look like. But he set it up anyways, regardless of how when he did this. Then we have witnesses may fear coming forward with valuable information. Spontaneous behavior and mental illness contributed to the crime, which is basically what was described. Already interviewed the killer, which they did, and drugs may have been an important factor in the case. But it's interesting because these spell sad.
Yeah. Wow.
Isn't that weird? Because I haven't had it spell out a word before. So the guy's, in my opinion, allegedly, the guy's a bad dude. He's been having thoughts about her for a while. He planned this. There's something about the date. And I think he got carried away, because I got those words, carried away with the situation and what he was doing. But I feel like even if he had anything like this in the past, it's probably he kept it quiet, or it wasn't put out like, he was a pedo or anything like that. So, I think he fooled and manipulated a lot of people. And I think he wanted to act like he was innocent around her, but in reality, like this was a plan for a while, I think. Because I keep getting that like watching, and there's a lot of stalking cards that came in here,
Yeah.
So, it definitely feels like it was something that was put in place. I'm not feeling good about it from what I'm seeing, and what the cards are saying and whatnot. Sometimes people take out what they're obsessed over to end those obsessive feelings. If we watch Obsession, Dark Desires, that's where it is. And I feel like in his mind, mental health, he has a lot of mental health issues. That's the way it comes across. Mentally, he's not healthy. Whether that be also that drugs are driving in or whatever, he's not healthy mentally. He's got a lot of issues. As you can see, people with, rap sheets usually aren't sane. They have some sort of mental health issues, which I feel like he does. That's come in here. There's, but there could have been something that happened in the house. But I just keep seeing them handing the water bottle, and drugging her in some way, shape, or form. And if he wanted to have a date with her, it could be very possible that, but it could be that something started there. I'm not really sure, because I didn't really see that. It's more like I see like him in the car driving with her, and then he takes her to wherever he wanted to take her at. But it's like a place that he had planned or knew about, or maybe visited sometimes. I feel like it's a place familiar to him. It doesn't feel like a random area. It feels like maybe a place he would go to. And again, there could be a pathway, because I pulled the pathway card. So there could be this, and the pathway's in the woods. So it's very interesting, this pathway card. So she could be off a path, or there could be a sort of pathway to her. But I feel like I'm opposite side of where they're searching. Like they go across the road to the other side of the woods. Like she keeps taking me to where you know, if they searched one area, like I want to go across from there. So, I mean, innocent until proven guilty, but this was a predator, a wolf in sheep's clothing that was around the kids. And I feel like he manipulated people into believing he was not such a bad person. He didn't have anything, you know, he didn't have these desires or whatnot. But I keep getting these courtship cards, marriage cards, dating cards. Like, obviously they weren't, but it was in his head. Like, that's what he wanted. Or, you know, the perversion card. It feels like that's the motive behind this. I'm surprised I didn't get Planet Evidence, but I really think there was. Because I keep seeing her again. It's like, I wonder if there's slopes in those woods, because it's almost like a slope and then a piece of log, and then she's like on the other side or around that log. That's how it's coming in, and I keep getting like coverage. So he did take the time to cover her, but then it's like not far from that is this bunker or something, which is maybe where he took her. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I got to get to my reading. I hope that made sense. If I feel another pull to it, I'll do another reading, like this, or Autowrites or something.
Hopefully they find her, and thoughts and
hopefully they find her.
prayers to the family and friends and loved ones. It's very sad.
I mean, I would love to be wrong on this and her be alive somewhere, but it's just like the cards aren't playing that way. I'm not seeing that. And it could be just he got carried away in what he was doing, and that's when I got emotional on what I was seeing, you know?
Yeah.
It might not have been his intention the whole time. It might not have been his intention the whole time, but, and I feel like too, like I feel maybe he struggled to even be, you know how some people when they're in jail a lot, they have a hard time being out of jail, like they want to commit things, or they think they can get away with things, or they can't stop from committing things.
Mm-hmm.
He has a very
they have
much
a hard
dark
time
side.
adapting to life.
Yeah,
outside.
and it's like he keeps committing things, like, you know, and I'm not saying that's the reason, but I think it's a part of it, you know, unfortunately. Yeah. So I don't know. I hope this was helpful. I hope that somebody can take this that lives there and knows what I'm talking about. It does feel like, I mean, the area feels, I mean, it feels like there's nothing, like no houses like in that direct area. You know what I mean? Like it might be the neighborhood might be surrounding it, but it's like where that's at feels very like secluded. It's not far from the road. So, but it feels like I'm on the opposite side of where they're searching, or the opposite side of the water, you know. I don't feel water around here. I just don't personally. I've tried to, and I don't. I mean, obviously there's a lake in the area, so it's something like by her, but not like right by her. You know?
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, hopefully we see you guys next time. I'm trying. I know I'll see you guys a lot in March, but yeah.
Yay.
Hopefully. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, everybody.